Hello, everyone. I'm Darnika, and welcome to Candidly Cantrice. I thank you so much for taking time to stop by. I hope you are having an amazing day. The day that I'm filming this is a payday, so I felt it appropriate to talk about living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I have lived paycheck to paycheck for years. As you know, I'm a teen parent. I had my daughter at 17, and so a lot of lessons that I should have learned growing up, everything was kind of fast forwarded because I was now a parent, so everything was like a rush course. And so I really didn't get a great handle on my finances until like in my 30s. So, um, having a child, eventually having children, living on my own, I had to find my own system for taking care of my finances, making sure my bills was paid, there was food in the house, the kids had clothes and shoes and Pampers or whatever else we needed at that time. And a lot of times, um, all of that responsibility was so overwhelming. And every time I looked around, I did not have money. Sometimes I didn't have enough money for all of the things that I actually needed money for, like the utilities and food and different things like that. So I'm constantly trying to figure out ways to make sure everybody gets paid. So I'm paying the rent, then I'm paying half of this bill, half of that bill, um, different things like that. I don't know how many of you have been there. Raise your hand if you have. Okay. So it really took me a while to get a handle on things. But first, I started um, looking into how to handle your finances. So, financial literacy is something that is very important to me, and it wasn't taught to me growing up. My mom's like, listen, when you get your check, do what you can, pay who you can, and that's how you work it. And so that's what I lived by, not realizing that I needed a substantial job or career to supplement the income that I needed to take care of two children at that time. So, it's just at that time I was working at a call center. I thought I was doing great because, I was 17, 18. I thought I was doing something because, I worked at a call center. I was making $8 an hour. It was 2005, so I don't even remember what minimum wage was then, but I don't think it was 7.25, but it might have been. So I thought I was doing something because I was making over minimum wage, pretty much. Wasn't doing anything. For a while, I was on assistance program that helped with my rent and different things like that, but I was either I wasn't making enough money, or I was having bills that I shouldn't have had, like cable, for instance. I just want to let y'all know I haven't had cable in 10 years. I have Netflix, Amazon, Hulu. It got to a point where um, I was debating if I should pay my cable bill or buy food for my house. Like, who? That's not even a topic to be debating about. And if you've been a person who always been financially stable, I would love for you to share in the comments why that is or how you came to be that way. If you struggle working paycheck to paycheck, what things have you been working on to try to get out of that? Once I had got saved, my perspective was different, was changed for many different things. And so, being a good steward over what you have was one of those things. And you can read up on that in First Timothy. I think it is chapter 6, verse 17 through 21, if I'm not mistaken. Prior to trying to be a good steward over my finances, I was horrible. I was literally YOLO. Like, listen, I am buying whatever it was that I wanted to buy, or going out to eat, or whatever I was doing at that in my 20s. My goodness. Ugh, I just, I was horrible. I really was. Because I was tired of always being responsible, carrying that load of responsibility on you at such a young age. You know, you have to be responsible. You have no room for error. And it just was like sometimes I was just like, I'm not paying any bills. I'm going to just splurge on whatever I want to. Trying to deal with all of that and just not spending money, but then not paying my bills, but then turning around and getting, you know, late fees or shut off notices or whatever. It was just a complete mess. I so had to get my life together. It was ridiculous. But in being a good steward, if it has a couple different definitions, but one of them is to manage or look after. So if you're managing or looking after something, you're making sure it's okay. You're keeping up with it, different things like that. So being a good steward of your finances, I know a lot of people feel that's just paying your tithes, maybe. Um, but it's more than that. I also wanted to say that if you, I don't have a budget right now. And it's not because I don't think they work. I think budgets are very important just to keep you in line for what you need to pay. I'm working on it. But looking at your finances and seeing what bills you actually have to pay every month versus the money that's coming in is an important place to start, because if you don't have enough income coming in, maybe you can cut some of your expenses. I've cut my expenses down as far as I can. I just need additional income at this point, okay? Maybe you can do that, and then you're like, okay, so I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. I just had too much stuff going on. Or you may not make enough income, and you may have to look at different things like asking for a raise, getting a side hustle. Do you know I don't have a side hustle? I think everybody has a side hustle, like hair, makeup, lashes. I don't want to do any, like, I'm not a type. Like, nobody's not paying for me to type no papers, or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good at office type things. It's just ridiculous. So, anyway, I'm trying to see, like, you know, I need to find me a side hustle ASAP. Anyway, that's off topic. Did I mention that I can get off topic quite easily? So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Living paycheck to paycheck is something that I despise, but it's something that a lot of us go through. And I'm just trying to find different ways, you know, to get around that, whether if it's, you know, finding a better job, getting a raise, finding a side hustle, different things of that nature. And so let me know what you guys are doing down in the comments. If you live paycheck to paycheck, what you're doing to work to get out of it. If you don't live paycheck to paycheck, you've always, you know, had been financially stable. What steps did you take to get there? What did you learn from your parents, or, you know, whoever took care of you? What's your financial literacy like? I would love to hear all of that in the comments. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you are alerted when I drop a new video. And I will see you guys next time. See ya.